Party all the time. Party all the time.
We can't leave that in.
That's Eddie Murphy's biggest hit.
You're right, but we're gonna get sued by Eddie Murphy.
No,
I don't want that legal battle on my head.
Eddie Murphy's cool, man.
No doubt.
He also had that song with Snoop Lion, which I liked, but not a lot of people know about it.
I don't even know what we're talking
Exactly.
about. Now you just lost me.
Yeah.
I still feel like that. I don't know. Maybe.
Leave
it in.
Eddie Murphy. I'm just kidding.
Shout out to Eddie Murphy.
For real. Making those hits. Okay, now that we got the stupid shit out of the way.
Good, right? Because that's not going to happen again.
No, not at all. With our first intro, that was...
It was rough.
Yeah.
But I mean...
It was funny.
Episode.
It was funny. I thought the intro was funny. Having Clarence, I think, butt in. I'm pretty sure he's the one that butted in.
Yeah, he's the one that would butt in.
We should get a picture of them to just pop up whenever they make sense.
I could send you a picture.
Yes!
I could just send you a picture of him, and there you go. Like, just splice that shit in. There you go.
That'd be dope as fuck. I'm down to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I was like, just let me know, man. I can send you a fucking picture of both of them. But yeah, no, it was him that was crying.
Yeah.
That was definitely the thing. All right, so we're going to intro? We're ready?
Yes.
We're getting into this?
Yes.
Okay, we're ready?
Wait, hold on. Do I put this on?
We are well into recording. Decided to put a beanie on.
No, that's fine. No,
yeah, no, now you fucked up your hair.
It's okay. We'll do it without. We'll do it without it.
Where are you doing it?
It's live. We're doing it live.
Okay,
What's too much?
Now we're doing it live.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah? I'll wait.
My hair is super fucked up. Alright, we're good.
Alright, so Pub Crew intro.
Yeah.
There's a demon at the door. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Pub Crew. I am your host, Ryan, and this is...
Victor, your other host to Pub Crew.
Shout out.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some air horns for that.
We need more.
Yeah.
More air horns, but not too many,
No.
because that's too much.
I don't want to mess up like your eardrums to the listener.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess that up. You'll just hear it in the background echoing.
This isn't a DJ Khaled song.
Yeah. Oh, I wish it was.
But if it was.
Yeah, I know. DJ Khaled.
But if it was, this is another one.
It would be like Pub Crew.
But is that out? I'm going to be honest, I actually don't know. I just know there's another one involved every other time, but I don't know.
I'm just going to yell Pub Crew like at random points throughout the podcast.
And then we'll have a nice filler right here. Nice little text.
Yeah.
Put it. All right,
here. I can do that for
you. Here. Get a nice 3D. Get one of those like PowerPoint effects on it, you know?
You haven't used those fonts?
Hell yeah.
The 3D fonts? I can definitely
like on a save screen, just like a...
Yeah.
With air horns?
Yeah. Air horns.
Perfect is what it is.
We're getting that.
It's on it. So you know what's done?
Yes.
That's all there's to it.
I'll get that done as quickly as possible. But thank you so much for joining us, guys. I know we kind of rambled on a little bit about there, but...
There's a lot of that, but it's expected, and we hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Please let us know down in the comments below. And in other spaces, we would like to hear that.
We also hope you've been having a good day now that you're tuning in to us. It's been a week.
It has.
Yes. And we hope you enjoyed the first episode as well. And going into it, we're gonna get to the best part of this show, at least for me, is tasting.
That's like a wee thing, though.
Oh, okay. The best part
Pub Crew, man. That's what we're here for.
The best part of this show for both of us. And to you joining at home, in case you're drinking with us.
And if not, you should have yourself a drink. And if you don't drink, that's fine. Please enjoy our company, and we'll enjoy yours.
Get like some crazy soda that you've never tried. Get those like
that's always nice.
Weird tea. Like if you don't drink, that's fine. You don't have to drink to chill with the Pub Crew. You just gotta be here.
Coffee, if you like that too. I love myself some coffee too.
I love coffee. Coffee, tea. I'm trying to cut away from soda pops, but
it's hard, though.
it is. Dr. Pepper, I'm still a Texan, So Dr. Pepper's
That cream
huge.
soda, though.
Oh, Dr. Pepper and cream soda. Have you had that? I did not just fart. In case you heard that, that was the seat.
I swear it was the seat. It's happened twice, and the first time I judged him, then I'm like, oh, okay, it's the chair.
But we're gonna get to this tasting.
We're moving right on to that.
I'm just gonna move on. This is. I'm sorry. What is this?
That's a pecan porter.
A pecan porter. Who's this by?
You got me on that one because they didn't label it. I'm very upset at that.
Okay.
Just know it's a pecan porter.
Pecan porter.
Pecan or peas in a can.
I'll try to find it in the link and link it down below.
We'll go ahead and put it down there. I thought it was on it. It wasn't on the label.
If not, that's fine. You're not gonna see me pour this because it's.
You get the nice ASMR. Listen to this. It wasn't as epic as I thought.
No, it was just me hitting the
rim.
Yeah.
That's shoddy work on your.
I'm so sorry. I'm not an expert beer pourer.
Here, I'll get us some nice ASMR on that. I'll get us some nice ASMR.
Do it up.
I poured me a side or two in my life. Ready for this? You get a little bit of it too. Hold on. Ready?
It's like I'm taking a really slow pee.
It's like when you're trying to piss, but you don't want to wake up and this isn't the night, so you kind of just hit the rim, so it just kind of slides in at that angle.
That's exactly what it is.
That's the stealth coverage we want right there. Speaking of, Fox Sound, looking at you.
Oh, snap.
Wait. No, I was right.
No, yeah, you were right. You're good.
I was like, camera left, camera right?
That's the part that's fucking me up the most.
Gotta get used to that. Anyways, to you all at home drinking, and if you're not drinking, but if you're still drinking some waters, tea, coffee, whatever it may be, cheers.
Prost.
Cheers.
As they say in Germany?
You got me on that one. What do you think of that one?
Whoa. Like I like stouts, right?
Uh-huh.
But the thing that I don't like about stouts most of the time is when it stays in your mouth for a long time, like that mouthfeel that you get from stouts. Because if it's like a milk stout, it just gets coated in some milky shit.
Well, it's a porter.
Yeah, and that's why it's different. Like
yeah, that's actually one of the differences between a porter and a stout, and like the thickness. Usually stouts are thicker, 2 C's.
Yeah. Oh, love that. But like a porter is just like, hey, it's that cool guy that rolls up in a motorcycle.
It really is.
That you never really talk to. That you're just like, man, that guy's cool as fuck. You know, I don't know why I said it like Steve-O.
But he says only like a few words the whole night, and then you're kind of like, God, he's a badass.
Yeah, like he's chilled to everybody. Like, that's a porter right here.
And which kind of jives with him, and you're kind of like, wow, but you only heard like 10 things from him? Maybe in the bathroom when you're waiting in line, and then you're kind of like, oh, there he goes.
Like, he looks like a total badass, but it's like, man, do you know that guy donates half of his paycheck to the local dog pound or the local dog sanctuary? Like, damn, that's the kind of shit.
That's that guy. That's this guy.
Especially because I love pecans.
That's
something that I probably should have said earlier. Like, I love pecans. If I were to scale this from, like... we need a scale.
Oh, we had to have a different scale because we said the last one.
Yeah.
We're going to have to make it different.
Yeah. So, like, right here, we're going to add another scale. And it's going to be...
Wait, am I on the high end? Well, I don't want to put one on something. I don't want the scale anymore. I was like, am I on the high end or you're on the low? No, I don't want to put any of us on the low end.
Well, I put me on the low end last time.
We'll go this way then.
It's because...
We'll go this way then.
Go up and down, vertical.
And now we both don't feel good. We're self-conscious now. That's all it is. We can both live with that.
I'm gonna give this on a scale from peanuts to
pecans.
I rate this at like a macadamia nut.
Huh.
Which is just like 1 or 2 steps below.
Okay. And I'll give this a nice little walnut, you know?
Oh, I like walnuts.
Exactly. Like, well, I like walnuts too, so that's like right there. That's what I'm saying. It's there for me. And then again, I'm biased. I like stouts. I like porters. That's my ish. So I mean, that's usually going to be up there. And I think a pleasant thing about this is it's not heavy on the taste with the pecan. It's not like an in your face. Here's like a pecan nutty taste. You know.
I don't feel like it's heavy with any flavor. I feel like, and that's not a bad thing. I feel like you get the porter side, you get the pecan,
The porter really hits at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, that's really the taste you get at first, and the pecan's right at the end, and you're like, oh, that's nice.
You know that like little dryness that you get when you eat a lot of pecans?
Yeah.
Like that's what you sort of taste, and I fucking dig that shit. But man,
I'm sure it's just as filling as one too.
I know. Like, I'm gonna make this a staple, but like now that we got the tasting out of the way, what are we gonna talk about today?
Well, I do have a few things I would like to talk about today, and that's just given in recent news out there's that have happened between last week and this week that I thought were interesting, at least to me. Hopefully to you. Maybe you've heard some of these. I want to talk about them. Maybe to you. Find out.
Some of this is new to me, yes.
I usually find that out the day of too. But that's good, because then we're all learning and we're all talking.
Yeah.
So one thing I actually wanted to talk about, one of my favorite game franchises of all time, next to Mega Man. I won't say who's ahead of who, but Metal Gear Solid. There's been a leak, and it is what was actually talked about maybe about a couple months ago in regarding the Metal Gear Solid 1 remake, the original, the OG. And we're not talking the Nintendo, we're talking PlayStation.
PlayStation, yeah.
Metal Gear Solid. We're talking a remake of that, full remake that was rumored a couple months ago, and people were kind of like, hey, well, what was up with that? More info's come out about that, and it's actually looking really good. I'm actually kind of excited about this because the thing is, it's being made by Blue Point. Now, Blue Point, if you don't know, is actually the company that has made the Demon's Souls remake as their current work and Shadow of the Colossus for the PS4 when they completely remade that one.
Really good.
Both beautiful games, in my opinion.
Fuck games, yeah.
Like, the original Shadow of the Colossus was great. The remake, oh my god. Like, the FPS on that, like, to the PS4 was big and it was important and it was beautiful through and through. Demon's Souls, I've been playing through that. I'm still playing through that. Don't judge me on that. I'm still going at it. It's, but it's beautiful. Like, it's seriously beautiful through and through, and it holds true to the original that I never beat originally. Because that was at the time where I was like, God, what is this?
Dude,
But then I fell back in love with Soulsborne games because, Dark Souls came out. And I was like, oh, okay, then Bloodborne came out. That made me want to get back into the Souls games. And here we back are at the beginning, at the granddaddy of them all, Demon's Souls. And I trust this company that they're going to do a great job with it because their track record, I mean, as of now, is great.
Yeah, honestly, it's been looking really good. I haven't played the remake, so I have seen them. Especially, now with Dark Souls coming out, man, like, everybody's jumping on that train because it was the original. I felt like since it was the original Souls-like game, everybody saw it for what it was back then. Like, it was really rough. Like, it seemed unfair at points.
It's still rough now if you're not one of those people that, like, sat down and dissected every last inch and every last strat that could pretty much get you every advantage in the game. If you're just trying to play through it, like, casually, you just want to jump through this game, you're in for a bad time.
And that's the point. The point is that you have to think of what is going to be your advantage. It's like that old saying, like, never fight a fair fight or some shit like that. Like, in Demon's Souls, you need every little bit, every tiny bit of space, any item, anything like that, like,
to get you that edge up on anything. And I've stumbled across that so many times because like I said, I never finished Demon's Souls originally. Then played Dark Souls, and it's different. It's noticeably different as far as even how you approach it. And going back into this game is like, I can't have that same mentality.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I usually go with the big boy builds. I go with big, strong, big boys.
Big boys, big boys.
We're going to rough through this. We're going to get a big sword, have a big shield, and we're just going to whack everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that puts you at a slight disadvantage in most situations in Demon's Souls, unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's only half the time. Anyways,
going
off topic here.
Yes.
But, try to get that out there. Great games on this company, and they're the ones making this remake, which I believe that's great news. And the crazy thing is, this leak has actually confirmed, well, not confirmed because we'd call it half confirmed, just because the company hasn't fully said anything about it, and of course, there hasn't been an official announcement from Sony or Bluepoint, but they've given comments on it, which is This game's actually been in development for 3 years.
Jesus.
3 years. This game.
Jeez, that's a lot of polish.
Yes.
That's a lot of upscaling.
I feel like this game needs it though, because here's my take on that. If you want to talk about remakes with this series, Twin Snakes. What was your take on Twin Snakes? Did you ever play Twin Snakes?
Dude, no, that's what I was gonna go into. Like, with all your passion that you're getting, I was gonna get into it later because I've never played any Metal Gear game.
Twin Snakes was, I love Metal Gear Solid 1, right?
Yeah.
And this was supposed to be the remake that came out on GameCube at the time, which was an interesting choice. I didn't think it was bad because I had a GameCube, and I was like, why would I want to play it on my new console, right? But they did a lot more to it that was a little unnecessary and a little over the top. In fact, they redid some of the lines, some of the voice work, and it was just too much, if you catch my drift. And Snake went from being this badass espionage lover to it was like very anime-ish. Granted, the original was trying to do that. This was like way out there for it.
There is such a thing as overacting.
And it was like they redid it in that aspect that I was kind of like, okay, this could be good, but it's not the original. If you catch my drift. I'm not saying it was a bad game. Twin Snakes was actually enjoyable because it was the closest thing to remake we had at the time and have now. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But this remake is, like I said, there's many details. I hope it's something along the lines of, like, I want to know, are the original voice actors coming back to redo lines? There hasn't been any of that info. David Hayter, where's he at on this?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I know about Metal Gear. I've never played Metal Gear, and I feel like that's the difference. I know that I need to experience it. I played the original Metal Gear back in the Nintendo.
Oh.
And that was rough.
And it's come a long way.
Yeah, and I'll check it out.
And if you played Metal Gear Solid 5, you've come full circle.
To whoever's listening, please start making a checklist of shit that I say I'm gonna check out, and then I'll get to it eventually.
I'm keeping a note of all this just so you all know. But if you don't want to play at home, get this list and download it now. Description down below.
But I mean, it's great to hear when games like that came out at such a, and I don't know any other word to say it, but such a polygonal time.
Mm-hmm.
Where
you're right.
You know, everything was just like a nose was a triangle, a pyramid.
But that was of the time, though.
I know, but
Tomb Raider, come on.
Yeah, and even then, like the first 3D Zelda games, the first 3D Mario's, like it's great to see that games that had those kinds of graphics. I'm not saying they're bad; they were amazing for their time, of course. But
some of them have not aged well, though.
The resources that we have now, knowing that it's those games that are gonna start getting remade a lot more, like that is just really awesome for me, and it definitely makes me want to check it out. Like I don't think I could go back into Metal Gear Solid right now and play it on PlayStation 1.
Oh, I could. I have the whole collection. I will jump into. I will take you through it. I will walk you through it, and I will also be quoting everything along the way because Metal Gear.
Yeah, but
I dressed for today's conversation.
Would you recommend it to somebody that hasn't played it?
Yes.
Like
yes, through and through.
Even with how much the game interface.
It only gets crazy after 3.
Oh, okay.
If you haven't played any of them, but you played Metal Gear Solid 1, it only gets crazy after 3. Because
that's
2,
what I wanted to know.
2 does take you for a twirl, but then you're kind of like, oh, that's interesting. And then 3 kind of does like a step back and then tries to bring everything back, and you're kind of like, so that's not, and I'm not going to spoil it.
No, yeah, definitely.
But you see what I'm saying is it only gets kind of crazy out there.
I know
3.
The plot is very convoluted.
After
like, trying to learn about it and all the different, like, solid snakes, metal snakes, gaseous snakes, venom snakes.
Liquid snake, naked snake. Yes, there's obviously more than one, and that plays a part in it because you need to understand at some point you're not Snake.
Okay.
You're a snake, and then you're not Snake.
Like, I'll tell you the closest thing that I've ever gone to playing a newer Metal Gear game was when somebody gifted me Metal Gear Rising, and I thought about playing it for 10 minutes, and then I just never installed it.
Guilty pleasure. I liked Metal Gear. Oh, excuse me, Metal Gear Rising. It wasn't your traditional Metal Gear game, and obviously it had the character people either loved or hated. You either loved Raiden or you hated Raiden because of where he came into the series and the twists he implements if you didn't know where he came in.
Yeah. And I don't know that thing.
Exactly. So you probably wouldn't have been phased. You've been like, all right.
Yeah, this guy's cool. Whatever.
Right, yeah, he's a goddamn ninja.
Shit. Yeah.
Which that's kind of where he goes down in his character development. But Metal Gear Rising was a good game in its own. And it was canon to its own branch.
Who made it? Platinum Games?
Oh, yes. Platinum, I believe, made Rising. Which wasn't,
Because Platinum Games is a great fucking studio.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't a bad game. I actually enjoyed it. Call it guilty pleasure of the Metal Gear. So, like, the series, Rising was actually pretty fun. Like, in its own regard. And the story was actually crazy enough to fit in the Metal Gear, like, universe. That you're like,
I feel like that's a big deal. That's like... It's like... comparing it to, like, more TV and movie media. Like, it feels like the Fast and the Furious. You know how it got so fucking outlandish?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen anything past, like, Tokyo Drift.
I stopped after 4 because then I realized this is derailing fast.
Yeah, but I feel like...
should just stop here.
I feel like that's what the story for Metal Gear is, just, like, 100 times more convoluted.
You're not wrong, because, in fact, I think you only get an appreciation for Rising if you played 4. Because you're kind of like, why did Raiden's arc, and then this, and then you play Rising, and you're like, oh, okay. I totally see this now. At least that was for me. I was kind of like, okay. These characters developed in their own way, and it was for the better. He wasn't Snake. That's what it comes down to.
That's what it always comes down to. Like,
yeah. Snake is Snake.
There's so many examples of that. Like, think of Avatar and Legend of Korra. Like, Korra's
not Aang.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone, as much as they wanted that wasn't going to be the case. But that's the point.
It's different.
Yeah.
I would definitely be a lot more inclined to play those games chronologically in the story's order. Like,
they're on PC now.
Oh, I'll definitely check it out.
All of them, GOG.
I'm a huge fan of that. I'm that type of person that plays games after the fact. And
there's no shame in that, though.
I do that with movies and TVs as well.
That I'm aware of, too.
Yeah. I just like stuff to be finished before I get into it.
I can see your point. I've done that with a few series. Like, definitely series, because there's some series I don't get into it initially in the first season, because I'm like, it's hype. But maybe it's not that good, because that's happened with some series. And there's some where some people tell me that's 3 seasons in, they're like, you gotta check out the season. I'm like, or the series. I'm like, all right, so now I know.
Yeah.
And then usually I'm pleased. But I mean, I get that, and I think there's no shame in that, especially checking out a game series or even a movie or a show series late, because you don't have to buy into the hype. You do it at your own pace. I feel
exactly. I don't feel pressured, and I don't feel pressured to be like, for movies and TVs and stuff, to go watch the next blockbuster. To
Day one.
Like, yeah.
I do that with some movies, though. I'm guilty of that. I'm that guy.
Well, that's fine. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's not for me. You
right.
know?
There's no shame in that. That's why we judge.
Yeah, I like knowing that stuff is finished. I mean, I still play Elder Scrolls games, so, whatever. but,
that in turn is where this comes from.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, I like a finished product. I like knowing that when it ends, that's it. And then what's left is up to my own devices. Like...
Okay, yeah, I definitely understand that. I can dig that.
Like, I would not watch... like One Piece or something like that, because that's still going on. Detective Conan, that is still going on.
I've tried on 2 separate occasions getting to One Piece, and have stopped. Only because I'll get so far just to realize this series is still going.
Dude, and like they tell me like, well, like the great thing about it is that's something that happens on like chapter 10.
Episode 600 something out of 800, and you're like...
And then it comes back. Like, it's actually like a breathed out world.
Keep in mind, not knocking One Piece. I actually like it because I always catch like best ofs and like crazy things. I'm like, yo, this is getting crazy. But it's the fact that I'd rather just wait.
We actually have a resident One Piece expert, which I think we can bring in.
We could definitely bring him in. We have to check his availability.
We'll table that for later.
Table that for later, only because I'm not knocking it, but he explains it to me every time, and I'm kind of like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna sit down and watch.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather just wait.
Just give me the cliff notes.
Mm-hmm. I kind of did that with Dragon Ball Super, to be honest with you.
I haven't even seen an episode of Dragon Ball Super. I'll tell you.
You can now, because it's done.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It essentially ended with Dragon Ball Broly. Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Oh,
with the movie. Because that movie is canon, and in fact, that's why I love it. Now Broly's canon in the Dragon Ball universe.
What?
Because the Dragon Ball Broly movies, he was not canon.
Yeah.
In fact, they went on to say,
that
Broly isn't canon. This Broly...
Is he doper? Like,
yeah!
Doper Broly?
He's not as childish. It's literally because that's how he was raised.
Oh, snap.
So and then that he was betrayed. That's a better arc, and that he's just a childish character. No, and the fact that he doesn't know how to control his power, and he was at birth stronger than Goku.
Ooh.
And you gotta watch the movie. You get insight on that. That's what I'm saying. You can binge Super now safely because it's done. In fact, it's ended at Broly, and they're gonna do more episodes, but it's gonna be completely different arc after that. But you can watch Super as it is now, and you'll be good. Damn. And I actually recommend it because I actually loved Super in the arcs it took. So the fillers, well, they were Dragon Ball fillers.
So I'm definitely going into recommendations since you mentioned that. And you talking about what you said was one of your favorite series of all time, which is Metal Gear. I want to ask, because I know people out there are going to start asking, and I figure it's easier to get it out of the way first.
Okay.
What I wanted to talk about was just our favorite series, why we like them.
Ooh, we could be here all day.
I know, but I just wanted to touch base on games that shape the way you think about the gaming industry, or just games that have always stood out to you, games that you can always play that you'll just always enjoy, or franchises.
That's my go-to.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I just wanted to ask, what are some of your go-to favorites?
Okay. Well, since you're asking me, I'll go first.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've mentioned, obviously, two. Between last episode and this episode is Mega Man. And we're talking as a whole series. Mind you, I obviously have my variations in that, list in its own respects. X is always on top. Mega Man X, that's my favorite iteration. And I know it got shitty towards the end. Don't fight me on this one. Still love that series. Just because between X1 and 4, great. I can replay those games to no end and just enjoy it every time. Metal Gear, obviously. I love those stories. Convoluted, and I can spiderweb the shit out of the story for you, and I'll break it down for you.
Yeah, I would appreciate
as best as I can. In fact, there's a whole encyclopedia that Konami uploaded that does it for you. So, it's easy. Trust me. Game-wise as well, I'm sure for you watching at home you've noticed Destiny. Main a hunter, but I play all three. Usually my backups are Warlock, Space Wizards.
I play Warlock.
Space Wizards,
dude.
Man.
I love Warlocks, man. Maining a Warlock was the closest thing that I'll ever get to being a fucking cyberpunk wizard.
It's really true, and that's the funny thing is when I played Destiny for a long time, I was just a hunter, and I was stubborn about it. But then made a Titan, and I was like, all right, I can see why people like the brute. And I always go usually in games like that, I go for the brute, go for the tank, and that's why I always thought the Titan was. But then I wasn't jiving with it, and then I made the Warlock, and well, I'm usually the backup Warlock in our group.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I'll just switch, guys. Don't worry. I'm like, we have too many hunters. All right, I'll tag out, guys. Don't worry. I'll bring on the war. What do you want? Solar? Just let me know. Just tell me.
That's awesome, though.
I'll put the rifts. Just tell me. It is what it is, and I don't mind it. I love it, and that's a game I play pretty much daily. Between that and other games that I pick. Another one, Final Fantasy VII. That's right.
Specifically 7.
7. That's right.
7. Okay.
Granted, I do play all the other Final Fantasies. I've played all the other ones. I think 8's up there with me too because it's underappreciated, and that was growing up.
Adding to the list of games that I've never played, the only Final Fantasy I've played is 14. Oh no, not 14. 15. The one with that's the Japanese Hangover. Which one's the Japanese Hangover? 15? Yeah.
It's 15. I'm like, well, because 14 is the MMO.
Yeah.
So
No, yeah,
15 's
not
the
14.
MMO.
15.
I had to think about it. I was like, 14 the MMO. I'm pretty sure you're talking about 15.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
everything
yeah,
before
15.
that was nothing like that.
I've only played 15, which was the Japanese
Hey, 15 was
Hangover.
great too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not bashing on any of the Final Fantasies.
Mm-hmm.
7 was just one that I grew up with and loved. So when they did the remake, ooh, it was. I think 7 remake was great, and people want to talk shit about it, but
I think I would still prefer to play the original. I feel like I would have to play that first to appreciate the remake.
someone asked me that, and they wanted my honest opinion. That they're like, should I play 7 before the remake? I go, well, it depends how much time you have. Because if you want to enjoy 7, it's your classic, like JRPG where you're gonna spend a lot of hours into it, and if you're into that, you're gonna love this game. Because I was into that, got into that, and you're gonna spend a lot of grinding, but that's why I don't find it too gripey. Like when it comes to Destiny or anything like that, when people are like, oh, this is too grindy of a season, I'm like, dude, you don't understand.
Dude,
I put hours into a single game that was only going to end in one way if I did it right. We're talking about a game that's depending on me leveling to get something and grinding something that I'm getting something out of it. So it's not a big gripe when it comes to grinding. It's just something that comes with the territory on that end. But 7 is just it's been my go-to.
Damn.
Like
That's good.
And I'm looking forward to the other remakes, the part 2 and part 3. I think.
Yeah, 'cause they're definitely separating it into 3 parts.
Yeah, and I don't understand why people are upset at that. People were like, "Oh my god, this was an unfinished thing. They only did part 1." I'm like, but they answered that.
They told you.
That was from the get-go. They said
Yeah.
it was doing it in parts. And I don't know
Yeah.
why you're bashing the company. I'm like, have you played part 1? That's a lot in that game. In fact, even where it ends it's a great stopping point. It ends at a very great point that I think this is good. And, I mean, I don't know if I'm just talking on my ass. I'm pretty sure it carries on to the next chapter if you do from part 1 to part 2.
I would hope so. I would definitely hope so.
Right, at least the summons.
I would-
Summons and material. Because that'd be a pain in the ass. To
Yeah,
get that again.
I love that in games, the continuation. Like when they can read your game save file and they're like, oh, like Mass Effect. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one for us. I was like, it's possible. And I don't see why I wouldn't be able to do it as well.
Yeah. Dang. And like, it's funny that you mentioned Destiny, because like going into my favorite games, Halo was like something that I grew up on.
Halo,
like,
yeah.
I've never felt the same rush that I felt when I was playing Halo 2 online, Halo 3, LAN tournaments, stuff like that.
Halo was a good series too.
Yeah, but it's made by Bungie, which is whoever made Destiny.
Yeah.
And I feel like I definitely should be the prime person to play Destiny a whole lot more. I played a lot for Forsaken. 2 of my friends got me in it. They're super
Forsaken
good
was
friends.
great.
They got me in it because they needed a third. Usually we were doing like Gambit stuff, or we were doing like just story stuff. We tried doing raids, but we couldn't find 3 other dedicated people.
That's a classic D&D situation.
Exactly. D&D, that's another favorite game.
Availability.
But yeah, like I played Warlock and I loved it. I started first playing Titan, and then I tried a little bit of Hunter. But Warlock is that nice middle ground where you're not too squishy or you're not too slow, and you have fucking space magic.
Sure.
Which is great. The thing is, since I'm such a huge PvP fan, I'm such a huge Halo old school head, that I'm just like, playing Crucible is not amazing. Like, playing Crucible is one of the dirtiest things that I've ever done.
I kind of
Coming
sigh.
out all sweaty.
I kind of sigh every time I have to get into Crucible, or my buddies are like, let's go hop into Crucible. There's 4 or 5 of us online. I'm like, okay. I know I gotta do it because that's one of your weekly pinnacles, which is necessary to level up in this game. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you're gonna walk away sweaty.
Yeah,
most of the time.
And for someone that sort of thrives in that scenario, like me, it's not great because once you get the pinnacle drop and like once you're done with that, there's nothing else that calls to you.
I don't feel obligated to return back to this event.
Exactly.
and I don't want to.
That's what I want, because ranked isn't enough. Ranked is a
No.
fucking mess. And now that they
Rank's
added,
a heartbreak.
now that they added the solo queue,
Yeah.
like since they added that, it's been a little bit better. But man, like there's nothing for PvP players in Destiny. And that's why I don't go back to it. Like I hop in every now and then, but
Well, more than recently, they took out a lot of the pinnacle weapons. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah.
With the new sunsetting that they did with the new expansion, they sunsetted all those weapons. So they're really only good if you're playing non-comp.
yeah.
Like if you're doing just regular Crucible
Yeah,
or
where light
even
levels
something.
don't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
PVE where you could probably get away with it, but you probably get killed depending on where your light level actually is and that weapon's going to put you at.
Yeah.
But a lot of these weapons that you worked and earned for, which I did a few of them, sweaty as fuck, but a lot of these weapons got sunset. And it's kind of a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Just because that's a weapon you had to go through comp. You had to get a score that was always fluctuating depending on how good you were playing
Yeah.
or how good the other team was. And just to have it taken away, it's like, well, I don't feel motivated to do this again.
Yeah. And there's so many more outlets for competitive games, online games, PvP, that Destiny just falls by the wayside so hard. Because I love playing Destiny, don't get me wrong. But if I'm just gonna be playing the same game mode and I'm not gonna get the same rewards that somebody else who's doing PvE is gonna get,
Yeah.
then why the fuck am I doing this?
I get you.
Back
I
to
totally
Halo,
get
that's been one of my favorite games. Same company, so Bungie, like you've been doing something right to get people engaged for over 20 years.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a lot to say about that.
Yeah, another huge franchise that I hold very close to heart, which you saw me get mad about last episode, was Street Fighter. Man, like as much as I wanna like just say goodbye to Street Fighter forever, that's been ingrained in me. I grew up in Mexico where arcade cabinets were a lot more common and arcades were a lot more common.
I wish they were more common here.
Yeah, me
Well,
too. Well, I mean, yeah. But while everybody was playing King of Fighters and Marvel, like I would play Street Fighter 2 and
Where's
3.
Marvel?
And I would make that my game. I was never into tag games, like I hated Marvel except for the original. That's why I wanted to try Infinite, but anyways.
I love Marvel's Capcom too.
Street Fighter 2, I got my ass whooped in a lot, and that was fine. Then Street Fighter 3, I started playing that a lot more, and the parry system really sucked me in. To be like, you can play a low tier character, and if you can hit those parries, you'll still punish people, and you'll still do great.
3 to me was great as well, just because I think the original characters in it was a fresh take, aside from the staples that were in it.
Yeah.
Granted, some of them were obviously copies of other originals, but they were still great. Soundtrack was
Oh,
banging.
man. I could
man.
make a hip hop record with those beats.
Dude,
Like,
I could just
I
have
could-
those beats on in the background. Just man, that soundtrack
Like
was just
Elena's
on
fucking
point.
beats, got beats,
Or
got
Dudley's
beats,
Dudley's
got
theme.
beats. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh.
man.
Yeah. Anyways,
It's super great. So, it's still a great franchise. And part of it is also the community.
yeah, 3 was definitely different.
Yeah, like everybody, like Street Fighter 3 is the black sheep of the family, so people who still play it are super good at the game. And even when you go back and play Street Fighter 4, now that it's like a legacy game,
Yeah, unfortunately.
man, like those people have never skipped a beat, Those people are like completely, and that's part of why I love that franchise. You'll always have somebody to play against somewhere because you'll find that somebody else still holds that love for it like you do. Because, man, like, getting into fighting games is such a daunting task. But when you do, it's like you're in there. Like, it's like being in a club or a gang. Because once you're in there, you're in there for life.
Yeah,
It's like learning how to ride a bike.
You ride or die now.
Yeah. And the last one that I wanted to touch on, which I think I also talked about, was Elder Scrolls, and I feel like it's such a huge Western RPG. It's the monolith of Western RPGs now, like traditional RPGs, but man, like back then, like, you had to be the nerdiest of nerds to play those games.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, like, it wasn't, the UI was okay, but it was not user-friendly at all.
We're talking definitely before Skyrim.
Yeah, before Skyrim.
Because that was not everyone's, but it was a majority of people's jumping on point.
It was a huge jumping point, but I started playing that since Morrowind. And Morrowind offered so much. It was huge. Like, you had to do, like, different weapon styles had different stats. You know, short weapons, like long swords, like blunt weapons. Like, you still had the huge amount of schools of magic. You still had the thieving stuff. But man, like, to go from that to Skyrim, it is so fucking crazy. And I'm not gonna be those people that are like, oh, if you don't like Oblivion or Daggerfall or whatever the fuck, you're not a real
GTFO.
Yeah, you're not a real fucking fan. Like, no, like, I think it's amazing what Skyrim did for the Elder Scrolls series, because if it wasn't for that, like, I feel like ESO would have never been a thing. Like, Elder Scrolls Online...
It wouldn't be where it is now, I feel.
It would have never kicked off like it did, and Skyrim did so much. My favorite...
That's why it's been on every platform since it's launched.
My favorite is still Oblivion, just because Oblivion is the one that I sunk the most time into. Especially... Yeah, I'm glad you agree, Clarence. Because it's such a great game.
Clarence in the background.
Yeah. And it's such a good game. And I feel like it's been one of those games that... Or one of those franchises that's sort of been a sleeper hit. Like, it had to have done well enough to get a third and fourth and fifth iteration. But for it to blow up like it did on the fifth one...
They don't just give those to anybody.
Well, I mean... Quit making it seem less than it is.
I'm not. I'm just saying, they don't just give those to everybody.
But obviously the people believed in it. The people working on it,
Bethesda, where's your Dead Space 4?
Believed.
Yeah, that's right.
That's EA though. We're not going to talk about EA.
Okay, you're right.
But I was gonna sort of lead into what you're playing now. You know, now that we've gotten our favorites out of the way, I definitely wanted to go into what it is you're playing now, because I had nothing else to say about Elder Scrolls besides, I mean, they're great games. If you ever feel like you need a clunky RPG to get you sunk into for 100 hours, play Morrowind or Oblivion. If you want something that's a little bit more streamlined, that's gonna get you still enthralled for a couple 100 hours, play Skyrim. If you don't want to go through all the clunkiness, you know, like
I play ESO.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, play with Cynthia.
Oh.
Hashtag Cynthia.
Yeah. Oh, I'll put that up on the bottom.
There you go.
Yeah.
At her.
Yeah.
She does art. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. I really like it. Hopefully we'll have her on the show sometime.
Hopefully someday.
That'll be really cool. Yeah. I'm just gonna start plastering her artwork all across the screen while we do this. So if you're just listening,
so it's there, and she knows.
And if you're just listening, I'm sorry. I'll leave a link or somewhere.
Yeah, I'm actually, I want to say I just started, but I got him actually pretty good ways to start Necromancer. Because I had a Dragon Knight, and I kind of didn't play for a while, but then I got back into it and I was digging it. But then when I heard there was a Necromancer class, I was kind of like, I want to try that.
Yeah.
And I have not regretted it.
Nice.
He is now stronger than my Dragon Knight.
That's good.
Oh, man, I actually having a lot of fun with that class. So I'm like, it's great.
Dude,
and I actually do love the story and where it's like, mind you, she's usually my go-to when it comes to like the lore. Because I'm like, what is this?
Dude.
Who is this? Why do I care who this is? And why is it yelling at me?
I'm so glad you mentioned lore, because like, to go from some of your favorite like franchises to go from Metal Gear or fucking Destiny from lore, Elder Scrolls lore is on a fucking other level as well.
Oh yeah,
like,
don't get me wrong. I feel like Destiny is like that. Well, I mean that's how we compare it, because she's always like, I'm like that with Destiny, because she'll watch me play Destiny, be like, whoa, what's up? And then I'll break down characters and why this is a thing, why it's important, why that object is significant. It's like, oh, I could tell you all that all day.
Yeah.
She's like that with Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. It's so good.
What?
It's so good.
Yeah.
I know, like, that's one of the reasons why me and her became such fast friends. Is because we just wouldn't stop talking about Elder Scrolls. Because, man, like, there's so much shit. Like,
I wish I knew that much about Elder Scrolls.
I know, like, fucking Sheogorath is my favorite character.
I know that name.
Yeah.
I know who that is.
It's
I know
so
Molag Bal.
good.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
I killed him.
Oh, nice.
That's how far I've gotten.
Do you know about the Septims and Martin and all of that?
I'm not that far.
Oh, okay.
But yes,
That's fine.
we're having a great time.
That's good. So then what are you playing now? Like, since we're sort of diving off, unless you had something else more important to talk about.
I do have other topics, but nothing. I mean, we're still on this one, so that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, what I'm playing now is still Destiny 2, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond Light's still the new thing. So that's
yeah.
still, with the way their seasons go, is it's still developing. So we're barely into week 4. Week 4 of Beyond Light, so still into that. And there's always new stuff. Small things, nothing big yet, but I think Dawning takes place in about 1 or 2 weeks. That's the season of the Dawning, or the festival of the Dawning. It's their Christmas event.
Yeah.
Which, I love all their events.
Mm-hmm.
I always play them and do all the things for them.
This is going to be a little bit weird, but I'm going to grab it.
Oh, we're at that time, though. We need another beer.
Yes.
I have mine in front of me. Oh, put a pin in that right now. This one's still cold.
Okay, cool.
It's still pretty cold. I'm gonna drink it. I'm not gonna. It's okay.
Whew. Okay.
Put a pin in that conversation right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you brought this one. This
Yes.
is Lagunita's Little Something Ale.
Lagunitas
that in for the
from
picture.
California, I believe. I don't want to sound like too big of a fucking beer hipster right now.
Always smooth and silky IPA. Okay, so we've had that conversation before. I'm with IPAs.
And I only brought it because it doesn't have that huge lingering taste that a lot of IPAs have. Okay. And it's silky smooth. I get it. That's a
just selling it for them.
that's a Souls reference.
Okay.
But it's super good.
Sorry about that. We have background noises.
Oh no. Battery's running low.
We're good.
Oh man.
Get out of here, notifications.
Yeah, we don't need you.
No.
You clicked OK.
I clicked OK. Recording's still great. Recording's still great. Recording's still
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, picking up right back from there.
Yes. So this is a Lagunitas little something ale.
Little something ale. Oh, I never said it all together.
A little something.
Little something. Okay, I get it. Okay,
I hope the people that are watching it can like appreciate my facial expression when I go a little something.
You got that? Meme that shit. Screenshot it, plaster it everywhere.
Yeah.
Put that for your clip art. Thumbnail right there.
I'm about to pour this out. And look at this.
I was gonna drink it from the can like a savage.
Oh.
Mine still has. I'm not gonna. I don't.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
I don't judge though.
So whatever.
To each their own.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
Anyway, shout out to Lagunitas for.
I've actually had a few Lagunitas before. I can't name any off the top of my head, but I know I've been to a tap takeover at a craft house, and there's a few that I was like, oh, okay, I could drink that. I can't tell you if it was this one.
Yeah.
But we'll find out today.
Yeah, we're about to find out. Because look at that golden color.
Cheers.
Cheers, yo.
It's not bad. It's
silky
definitely
smooth.
an IPA.
Silky smooth.
Definitely an IPA, and I don't mean that in like a bad way. I just mean it like
You can
I taste the
definitely
hops.
taste. Yeah,
It's there.
Very hop forward.
Right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right at the end.
It's very silky smooth. Like you can.
Yeah, definitely. Like it wasn't bad, but then right then, like now I just taste hops.
Yeah.
I want peak. Special guest star Clarence.
I think Clarence wants to.
He feels very passionate about alcohol and the way I consume it. I don't know.
I mean, it's been one of my favorites, especially because it is like 8%. And if you ever want a 6-pack to just chill and drink.
Wait, what? This is 8%?
Yeah. So if you ever want a 6-pack, to just chill with and like know you're gonna be good at the end of the night.
didn't. Whoa.
Yeah. Lagunitas.
It's the same 8%. That's the same 8% anyway. Well, I don't have to list it, but it doesn't taste. I've had 8%. And you definitely like. There's
That's
some
the
where you're
thing.
like, oh, that's gonna. hit
Yeah,
me.
because it's usually like a double IPA, which is like just super bitter, and it just tastes
Yeah,
like pine
that's a no.
cones.
That's a no good. That's
Yeah,
a no go for me.
this stuff, like to me,
This isn't
with
bad, and I think that made it all the better now.
yeah, with
I'm
the
like, well, that's an 8?
knowing it's 8%, you're just
Jeez.
like, wait, I've
Whoa.
tasted 8% IPAs.
I've had 8% stouts, and you're kind of like, oh, I can taste that.
Yeah.
I've had 11% stouts, and you're like, oh, God.
Yeah,
But this is. Whoa.
yeah. So
Okay,
how do you
that's
want to rate
different.
this?
I'm-
Okay, let's do this in like an MMO like rating.
Okay.
From like common to like
oh,
legendary.
What about exotic?
Oh, sorry, exotic.
Exotic's always at the
We'll do a
top.
Destiny one. We'll do a Destiny one.
Sorry, that's
From
biased.
common to exotic. Where would you rate
I give this definitely like I give it a legendary, not curated, but definitely legendary.
Just legendary. Okay.
Yeah, like I'd put that on me. Like even if I had a good roll, like a decent roll on it. It doesn't have to be curated. I still have it.
Yeah.
Well, could be, but I'd still fuck with it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like this is something you'd masterwork.
Down the road, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe not initially, but I'm gonna keep it in my normal loadout,
Yeah.
and we're gonna cycle through. I'm like, what do I need? That's what I need
It's
right
like
now.
it's like a
This
jade
is
rabbit.
what I need right now.
It's like a jade rabbit.
Hey,
It's
Jade Rabbit's actually.
Is it good now?
It kind of is.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, well, Scouts
like-
kind of became good, but they're still kind of not.
Yeah. It's like a Redrick's broadsword.
Hand cannons came back.
Oh, what? I love Sunshot. That's my
That's one of the
go-to.
OP ones right now. That anything 140 is
I'll
fucking
see
OP.
you on the Crucible, son of a
They
bitch.
gave a buff to all 140 hand cannons. Sunshot, you wouldn't believe. You see all that plus a lot of old fashions, dire promises,
Oh.
and malfeasance. That's because I've always loved malfeasance.
Yeah.
Those got a buff.
Welcome
This
to the-
isn't that though.
Welcome to the
I'm
Destiny
just
podcast.
saying this isn't that though.
No, that's a Jade Rabbit. That's a
Jade
skill
Rabbit.
reveal.
It's kind of good.
Yeah.
You could still do work if you rock Scouties and the right loadout. Like you do some work.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Just two tap him in the head. Like
But
a
then the
little-
guy with the sunshot one taps you, and
Oh,
you're
yeah,
like,
that's
damn it!
and then you explode into the sun. Anyway,
and you piss off everyone around you that was taking cover, and you're like, that asshole.
yeah.
You were that guy.
Anyways, to close this off, did you want to talk about anything, or did you just want to go into what we're playing now?
Well, we're covering what we're playing now. Like I said, Destiny 2 Beyond Light. That's kind of led into this. That was my bad. I can talk about it all day, to be honest.
We'll have a
with you.
Destiny cast. Like when I get back into it, we'll talk about our Destiny.
I do stream it
experiences.
every once in a while. When,
Oh, dude,
my
plug yourself
team's-
in.
Hashtag Ragged Gaming, Twitch TV, YouTube Ragged Gaming. There's slashes somewhere, and I'm not
Yeah.
placing them right. She's got it though.
I'm like petting a cat right now. Are you kidding?
Yeah, we're doing two different things here,
I'm
but-
gonna put a picture of Clarence.
Just
Or no, Milo, just because I know Milo hates pets.
yeah, he's particular. Like he cares, but he doesn't care. I don't understand that cat. Anyways, Demon Souls, playing that. I don't know how far I am in it. I've made a lot of progress. That's for damn sure, and I'm proud of myself. 'Cause I was stuck for a while, and I figured it out, and now I'm not stuck. So I've been making a lot of headway
That's
in
good.
that, and I'm confident in that. I go back to ESO every now and then, but in all honesty, those two games have been taking a lot of my time. Newer games. I say newer, but I don't know.
Yeah. Sort of new expansions on older games or something like that, like the new hotness in something established.
Well, in a way, yes. Just because a lot of newer expansions on games now actually add a lot more to what the game was. In a way that game's no longer what it used to be. A fine example of that, if you're a World of Warcraft fan, Shadowlands.
Oh yeah.
Like, I used to be big in World of Warcraft. I stopped maybe around Mist of Pandaria. That's kind of where I got out. Finished it and kind of got out. And it was just one of the games where I need to step away from this.
Yeah.
And it just kept getting crazier and crazier. But then I've been seeing Shadowlands and kind of makes me want to get back into it. Because it's literally added a whole new world, if you will, to it. And it's crazier the way they revamped a lot of the way your character is, mapped out and leveled up now. They kind of scrapped the old and brought in a new, and I'm like, that could be good or bad. And from what I'm hearing, it's good, and it's looking good. So in a way, yes, it is a new game, even though it's an expansion of an old game.
Yeah, and I'm only saying that just because I haven't played Beyond Light or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Beyond Light's the new expansion.
Yeah, I haven't played it, but they made all of the new subclass feel like it was gonna be like the hugest thing.
It kind of is. Because if you get into PvP, you will be frozen a lot.
Yeah, that's part of why I don't want to go
every
PvP.
time. I mean, my best advice is fight fire with fire. Because, for the most part, it's annoying, but it's not undefeatable. You could wreck a team still, even though they were freezing you all at once.
Yeah.
You could still come back from it. It's certainly doable, but that's PvP in general.
Yeah, that's true. Because I usually run like a lot of Storm Trance.
Storm Trance is still good. It's still important on your loadout. It's not just I'm going to go in with stasis and wreck this team. If someone's in there with a good Stormcaller loadout, you're probably still going to get wrecked because that person knows their loadout.
Yeah.
And there's only so much that works with the current that's not going to complement as well as what's already been out there. So it's still a matter of how you play and who you play. Yeah,
and man, that's big because for me it's always been a lot about oh man, even if it comes down to loadouts, I always like that outplay. That like in PvP, competitive games, I've always loved that feeling of outsmarting someone else or out maneuvering someone else, and that happens a lot in Destiny. And
those are the clutch moments, though.
Yeah, and I love that, and that goes into one of the games that I've been playing recently, which is Apex Legends, because man, like they brought out a new Season 7 just came out not too long ago.
Right.
They came out with a new hero called Horizon, which adds a lot more vertical gunplay because she has a gravity lift that just takes you up.
Okay.
Dude, it's ridiculous, man. Movement is huge in Apex Legends, so you can definitely outsmart people, and you have that like a bead of sweat, like your balls are getting sweaty, like you know, like those, that kind of like
play.
Tense moments that you're just like, I need to figure out how I'm either gonna get out of here or get my group to go in with me, or if your group is dead, you have to figure out if you're gonna be able to revive them and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
It's
okay.
And it's been the only battle royale that I haven't gotten tired of, because man, like battle royales for me get so boring because
I haven't gotten into any battle royale, and I've tried a few. I don't know.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah, I guess. Because, I don't know, man. I've tried them. I've tried a few. I haven't tried them all. But I'm just like, I don't know. This one has its own thing. This one has its own thing.
Yeah.
But what does it make it good? I don't know.
That's the rough part, because everybody has their own little niche inside the battle royale space. For me, it was mostly just the fact that they actually had class-based loadouts. And, like, you had a passive, you had an ability, you had a super. For me, that sold me on it, because everybody else, you're all the same, you know?
I kind of want to get into Apex just because it reminds me a little bit of Overwatch.
Yeah, and that's
and I liked Overwatch.
I think that's the part that sold a lot of people on it, is just that since it is class-based, you know, you get the people who are smaller and harder to hit, they take a little bit more damage, but they have huge escapes. They have huge ways to help out.
Yeah, it's every pros and cons. Every character, every class, it's going to be the thing, which is good.
It's actually, I wouldn't say it's completely balanced. There's still a lot of people that get no play at all. Like Crypto. Crypto has not been a fan favorite.
I don't know who that is, but I'll...
It's just a guy that has a drone, and you can shoot out a drone that you can pilot up to 200 meters. And you can check if there's any squads around and stuff like that. Mostly like a surveillance person. Somebody that you want to have when you know your teammates are good and you want to get the jump on people. But that's a very specified role.
Because outside of that scope,
Yeah,
you're kind of
it's
useless.
just kind of useless. If you're going
Gotcha.
into a surveillance expert person and nobody else is listening to you or like paying attention to what you're doing, like you're shit out of luck. But anyways,
Welcome to the Apex cast.
yeah. Anyways, it's right after the Destiny cast. Not like it's just since you mentioned Overwatch, another one since I'm a huge shooter fan is Valorant. Um,
Been hearing good things about that.
it's a
in all
PC
honesty.
game. It's 5 versus 5. It's sort of the thorn on Counter-Strike's side because Counter-Strike has sort of grown kind of stagnant lately, and
Yeah.
there's not been a lot of huge patches and everything like that. So
Still a huge following for it, though.
oh, definitely. Are you kidding me? Those are some of the nicest, meanest, cruelest people you'll ever meet.
encounter
Yeah,
in your
it's
existence.
ridiculous. But you know, Valorant came out by Riot, who's worked on it for quite a while. It was in beta for a minute, and now that it's released, like they're having updates every week, every other week, fixing bugs. They came out with a new map that had a huge glaring bug. It got patched a few days in, just because
Bug in a bad way, I assume, right?
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. There's this character Omen that can teleport with his ultimate. He can teleport to any spot on the map. There was one specific spot where it took you outside of the map, and you could just see everything that wasn't blocked by like actual geometry.
Well, that's fucked.
Yeah, but they patched it out, and
Oh, good.
They were very responsive, and that's the part that I like, is that the developer is huge on responding to any concerns or problems that arise in the community, which is something that you don't see from Valve, because Valve is such.
Oh man, excuse me.
I can't say it because it's a French word, so I'm going to use the word libertarian. But like laissez-faire. Well, I don't know how to say it. I'm not French.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they're just like it's not broken, so we're not going to do anything. Like just have fun with it. You know,
That's not always a good approach.
yeah, and it isn't, especially now that they have competition. You know, but that game definitely.
So what you're saying is because they were comfortable.
Oh, definitely.
They were comfortable that you think.
There's been no other sort of tactical shooter, and I use air quotes if you're just listening to this. There's no other tactical shooter that has been able to rival CS:GO. You might be able to say like Rainbow Six Siege, but
yeah,
that game plays out a whole lot more differently.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say.
But
that is the case.
Valorant came in and they added all of the agents, you know, which is just characters, classes. Each of them got 4 abilities when ult. So it sort of brings in what people loved about shooting games and what people loved about MOBAs. And it's just making it into this amalgamation where it's like packing it down into this nice little product that I actually really enjoy because, you know, I'm not terrible at those games, so it's good to see that there's something for me that I can sort of
something different.
Yeah,
something that's not Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
and you're like, this is good.
Yeah, because for me, like you're either at battle royales with shooters or you're in like arena shooters, which is like Halo and all that stuff. Yeah. Or you're in like Destiny space, which is all like MMO shooters, you know, like it depends on your loadout and stuff like that. So it's nice to have, I would say, a level playing field. It just depends on like your aim, you know, like everybody has access to the same guns. You can buy them every round, you know, like
true.
Sort of that space.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It really boils down to who your character is, how well you are with your character, and how well you can shoot. There's a couple exceptions to the rule, but it usually comes down to that, and that for me makes it like chef's kiss. There's a lot of stuff I wish that would change. I don't want to get into it here because I know I'm probably gonna ramble on a lot more.
I was just listening, so I'm kind of like,
yeah,
all right.
But there's a lot of stuff like
I could agree and disagree on this topic.
Like their sniper was super overpowered. They nerfed that down a little bit.
Like Team Fortress 2?
Yeah. Oh man, Team Fortress 2, that's a fucking amazing
Another
game.
day.
Yeah. But anyways, you know, those have been mostly the 2 that I've been playing. Something that I jumped into, which I've never played before, and it's just because I mentioned it, was RuneScape. I actually got into old school RuneScape.
Like recently?
And I made an account.
I think the most recent I jumped into RuneScape was like 3-4 years ago, and it was on a whim.
Oh man, that's how I felt now. Like, obviously with like coronavirus and everything like that, like not being able to go out, I wanted a specific type of game, one that was sort of unapologetic, had a couple rough edges, but overall it was a lot of fun.
I mean, RuneScape has more than a couple.
Yeah, but
it has a lot of rough edges.
Yes. Yeah. But like, I just wanted that experience where stuff wasn't handed to you, and I know there's a couple. There's probably a lot of other games that do that to you, but RuneScape is one of those games where I can put on and watch something on the side because it's mostly just clicking. So
it's definitely what WoW used to be at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously WoW's not that now. There's actually a lot more into WoW now.
That's actually why their lead designer left. That's brand new news for y'all. In case you haven't heard, one of Blizzard's oldest lead designers just completely left because he thought that WoW was going in a direction that strayed from what its original point was.
Which is absolutely true.
WoW
is... I mean, it was obviously going that direction for a while. Mm-hmm. Like, it seemed like that from the time I jumped into it, and it was definitely going different directions with every expansion. So... it wasn't a surprise to me that with, even with the current expansion, Shadowlands, it obviously went a bigger direction than what it currently was. Like, I didn't find that a surprise. And I don't think that's a bad thing, just because there's been a lot of positive, feedback from that. So I don't think it's a bad thing, and it doesn't have to be. But, I mean, obviously,
I feel like
everyone has their own niches.
It definitely boils down to what the consumers want. And that's the part where...
you're not going to please them all. That's the unfortunate thing.
That's the part where games of service sort of falls off the edge.
Yeah.
And it's just like... the people know exactly what they want from a game, and their views are going to differ.
Every time.
You're going to have to give them what they want to make your game survive in an ecosystem like that. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's kind of why they vaulted a lot of content going back to Destiny. Welcome to the Destiny cast. There was a lot of worlds and a lot of activities that just weren't being used at all because they didn't get any good drops. They didn't do anything. They weren't fun.
They were just a landscape to a quest that you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they vaulted certain worlds and activities because, I mean, for the good or bad of whichever side you fall on this, I understand the reasoning behind it. And I totally get it. And I'm sad some of those worlds left. I actually liked going on to Mars. Mm. That was actually a plan I loved going on to. The whole concept of it and everything that came from it. Clarence agrees.
Yeah.
He has his 2 cents on it. But I understand why they vaulted content because, one, with what they're going to bring into it that is new, is going to revitalize the actual, environment and the actual economy within it as far as what's going to change it. And it's kind of becoming apparent, slow as it might be, but I don't find that as a bad thing. I mean, people may be impatient with it, and that's understandable, but we have to play it out. It's the start. That is every game, and that's the unfortunate thing is, I've seen people mad where Beyond Light is right now, and it's like we are literally, as of today, week 4 into new content. Give it time, man. Like, it's gonna take a minute, and once again, I guess maybe this is coming from a lore perspective that I love. It's slowly developing, and that's something I kind of like. I don't want it all... If I could have gotten it all day one, I would have stopped playing.
It. Yeah.
Oh, no, I would have read it, but I wouldn't be playing right now, because I'd have read it all, and I'd just be sitting there going, oh yeah, that guy, he's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Don't talk to that guy. Cool. But then what do you benefit from that?
Yeah.
You don't want that in a game that's supposed to last you a whole season. Like, there's seasons in this for a reason. And, I don't know, Forsaken did a great job. Shadowkeep was okay. And I can see why it wasn't as big as Forsaken, because it wasn't Forsaken. Beyond Light is trying to be the mediator between the two. Mm. So I feel we should just give it time.
Yeah.
And just enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. It's been buggy, but new expansion isn't.
Exactly. And with that, I just want to know, what buggy ride have you been going on? If you've been listening to this, I mean, we shared our thoughts with games that we've been playing a lot. If you want to write down what you've been hanging out on the comments, please feel free to do so. We want to know what listeners of this show are playing, and
what do you feel has taken you for a ride and not in a good way, or in a good way?
Yeah, like what are your gaming tendencies? As I'm gonna so succinctly put, like, what are your gaming tendencies that you've been playing? Like, are you more of an Animal Crossing fan? Like, are you been still sinking hours into that? Because that game is pretty fucking huge.
Yeah, I always go
when
back
you
to
get
Animal
into
Crossing.
it.
I should have said that. That is
collection.
something I play. I always
Yeah.
go back to it. Like,
Yeah.
intermediately, but I end up going back to Animal
Yeah.
Crossing, like, quite often.
Yeah.
Just get lost in it.
Or if you're like me and super competitive, you play fighting games, shooting games, just leave it all down in the comments down below. We'd love to hear what you want to talk about, or whatever it is you are passionate about. And I mean, we're running out of time here. I don't know if there's anything else
we're
you
at
want
the
to
end of this.
bring up.
I think we can end this on a good note. Just one last tidbit of thing I wanted to share, and I think it's great news. I mean, amongst everything that's going on this year, and we're coming to the end of it, which could be good, could be, we hope, better going forward, right? I think we're all on that same train. I don't know. I hope. February 4th is the predicted announcement opening day of Nintendo Land in Japan.
Oh,
Yeah, right?
so like, do I get to drive like biplanes?
Carts.
or cart? Okay.
That's
So-
actually the feature that they've shown so far is their Mario Kart
Ooh.
ride. And it looks phenomenal. I'm actually super giddy about it. I saw they did like a first person perspective of it. I forgot what it was called, but it was like literally someone doing like a walk into, like if you were walking in as like a patron going into this
Yeah.
amusement park and this was the main ride. This was you walking into it, and it's like Bowser's Castle because he's a huge statue, big part of it.
Nice.
Look it up down because
I want to steal it.
it's great. Oh, I kind of want it to. It's dope. Like the first four figures, Bowser looks great. This one, oh my god,
Damn.
it's huge, and I'm like, I need that in my living room. Why wouldn't I want it? But like everything about it just looks amazing. Like the whole ride itself, it's literally just the 3D well, I guess four 3D Mario Kart experience you want, where you're getting into a cart and you're going across a popular track.
All right, so start donating now for our Japan Nintendo Land fund.
And we can take you there virtually and
We'll
we'll
pick
everything.
one lucky winner to view it virtually.
Day zero, we will show you everything
It's gonna happen
at that moment.
February.
That's just the highlight, is that ride, because honestly, that's all they've shown.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever seen pictures
Dude.
of. But I've seen pictures of the whole park. It looks awesome.
What I'm most excited about is the overpriced food, and I know I'm saying that. 'Cause
I'm looking forward to that as well.
I know I know it's because I'm fat, but it's like
You
what
too?
What if you had like like some like fire flour pizza where it was just like
I'd buy it in a
fire
heartbeat.
flour chicken wings.
I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Like some-
I'd buy all the... It sucks because I gotta try it at least once before I
Yeah.
can say that wasn't worth the $12.50
Yeah.
I paid for it. Because you don't know until you try it. Disneyland and Disney World parks, I could probably tell you more. That's like, nah, that's not worth it. But there's some problem like, you gotta do it once.
Or like Link's cookbook or something like stuff.
If you know, the crazy part is all they've actually kind of featured from the photos that I've seen and like the stuff that I've seen on it is just Mario.
Oh.
But there is a Zelda portion, and there is supposed to be something Metroid, but that hasn't been seen. So I'm kind of like, is that just a rumor,
Yeah.
or is it just all Mario? Because
So,
like the
like-
big feature is obviously Mushroom Kingdom,
Yeah.
which I guess we all saw that coming, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not mad at that. In fact, I'm still gonna visit it. I still want to visit it regardless. Like, I would love to see it because it looks dope. All the moving feet, you just gotta check it out. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It looks dope. But there
will
is
check it
supposed
out.
to be a Zelda portion, and I want to see that too because I would love to see the event where I can get attacked by a cuckoo and possibly die from it.
Oh, cuckoo eggs for breakfast?
Yo,
Cuckoo,
like
scrambled cuckoo eggs and ham?
burrito. Oh, they wouldn't call it burrito. I don't know what they'd call it, but I'd still eat it.
A Gerudo burrito? Garito?
Garito. Trademark.
Yeah.
Nintendo pay us.
That's ours.
You gotta pay us for that, Nintendo. Unless you already had it before that, then fuck. It was a great idea.
I'm very excited about that. That's definitely something that I would want to make a trip out of.
It looks awesome. Like it's
especially if things get better here. Like
definitely, and that's why they're projected. I guess it's their projected opening date is February 4th of 2021. So that's actually a lot sooner than you think.
That definitely is. It's already December.
Exactly. So that's a lot closer than you think. But I guess only between now and then we'll know. And I hope the best between now and then because it looks amazing and I would love to go check it out. This is something that we've thought is like just rumored and it was how is it going to look? How's it going to play out? And I've seen legit photos. They're out there now of staff, like how it's going to kind of look. And it looks great. Like I'm excited for it and I haven't even planned a trip for it yet.
Yeah, we need to go. We're going to go.
We're going to go because...
Please donate to the link.
And we will take you there virtually with us.
Yeah.
And to the highest bidder, we'll probably send you something nice from there.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Like the underwear that I wore. No, I'm just kidding.
Or the underwear he wore off of me.
Anyway.
Nights could get crazy there, folks.
It's Japan. I mean, come on.
Who wears underwear? We do, and it might end up on someone else. Yeah. And that's the point.
Yeah.
We're all about having fun here. And with that, we are the Pub Crew. We will have great stories for you every time. We will have a great time. And we hope you have a great time with us. Because that's what this is all about.
Most definitely. If you have any comments, questions, remarks, anything, please leave it.
Let us know in the bottom. Let us know in the comments.
If there's anything you want to talk about, anything you want us to talk about, anything at all, please just let us know. We're more than happy
to bring it up. Yeah,
exactly. Because we
trying to ramble about it.
We're trying to do this as much for us as we are trying to do it for our listeners. So please, just anything on your mind, just shoot a line at us.
And if you're not having a great time,
do people still use that? Do people still use shoot a line?
I do. Okay. Sometimes.
Shoot a line at us.
Like inadvertently.
Just to make it that much sweeter. Yeah. But thank you for joining the Pub Crew tonight. We will see you guys next week, as always. And please drive home safe.
Hopefully, I hope you're watching this at home.
I hope you're at home.
And if you're watching this on like a big screen somewhere else, we love you for that.
Yeah, definitely.
And then please, in that case, drive home. But if you're watching this at home,
send us a picture.
Get to your bed safely because you probably, depending on how many of us you're seeing, you're okay to not.
I should not have waved my hand because I look super crazy.
It does.
But I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for joining us.
Y'all take care.
Peace out, y'all.
Have a good one.
High five me right now. Well, no, I meant...
Oh, shit.
Oh.
God damn it.